Well, hello and welcome to Headley Park Church. My name's Neil and I'm one of the pastors here. We are just so delighted that you've agreed to come to Adventurers this summer, and we are looking forward to meeting those of you that have never been before and welcoming back those who came previous years. This is actually the 11th summer that Americans have joined us from Briarwood and the surrounding district to help us with our Adventurers outreach. For us as a church, it is one of the most exciting times in our year. We welcome in this year 120 children, most of whom live in the local area, and most of whom will not be from believing families. This is just such a great opportunity for us to spend a week teaching them about the Lord Jesus, showing them His love, and also then beyond that to getting to know their parents. We long year on year that we would see families joining our church, and a few have, but we long for far greater blessing, and we hope that you'll be part of that this year. You join us in an exciting time in the life of our church. It's our 10th anniversary as Headley Park Church, the 70th year that there has been a church on this site reaching these communities for the name and glory of Jesus. And we hope this will be a year of real blessing, a year where we see the Lord Jesus working in power. And so we long that you'll be part of that. We look forward to welcoming you, and we will see you in a few weeks' time. God bless you all.
Well, I can't believe that it's this time all over again. We're making the video, and in less than a month, you guys will be here, hanging out with us, getting ready for Adventurers. So my name's Simon. I'm the assistant pastor here at Headley Park Church, and Adventurers is one of the things that I look after, and we're so excited about, as Neil said, the 120 kids that are coming, and the fact that you guys are coming again. You make us just feel so humbled by what you give, the sacrifices that you give to make sure Adventurers can happen. Without you guys, Adventurers would be about half the size. So we're really grateful to you and to those from the past who have come to help us out. It's so good that so many of you are coming for a second, third, fourth. I think Christy about 167th time. It's great that you love Adventurers, and we know the kids love you. Some of them already are getting really excited hearing those of you that are coming. The way that it works with Adventurers is that we split the kids into two age groups. We have the senior group and the junior group, and I oversee the junior age group, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that now. Because there are so many kids, there are about 80 in the juniors, we split the week over two buildings. The one that you see behind me is the main building. We'll have a look around it in a little while. But we also have our community hall, which is over the other side of the car park. And every morning the kids come and they register there. I'd love to take you in for a bit of a guided tour, but we're having an electrical rewire, and so it's out of bounds. I'm not allowed in, and if I did sneak in, I'd probably get kicked out. So that might make for an entertaining video, but it wouldn't really help us with work out about Adventurers. So you'll see that we call it kind of the home base. Everything is in there, the teams are in there, and every morning they will gather there, and you'll have some time with them just to get to know them at the start of the week, and then to build on a lot of the teaching that's already happened. But pretty quickly, after they meet in there, we bring them over and we head into this main building. So let's head in there now and see what it's like. So here we are now inside the upper hall of the Headley Park Church building. As you can see, it's set up now for a regular Sunday morning. About 150 come on a Sunday morning. We've got a music group, lots of children's work, lots of things going on a Sunday. At the moment, it's incredibly quiet, just my voice echoing around the building. But come Adventurers, this will be turned into a safari park. That's our theme for this year. And so the kids are going to be involved in this safari park. I haven't quite got to the stage where we've got some live animals yet, but you never know. So this will be where we come at the beginning of the day. They'll have met over in the community hall and then come over here, and here it will be transformed. All these chairs will be pushed back to the sides. There'll be a big open space. The music group will have gone from the platform, and we'll be able to set it up so it looks a bit like a safari park. And this is where the main Bible teaching happens. We'll have the morning show, and there'll be some presenters doing some silly things. There'll be lots of songs. There'll be some Bible teaching, particularly related towards the children. And then there'll be a big drama and just a lot of fun, and a great opportunity for lots of children to hear the good news of the Lord Jesus. Week by week, we teach them in our Friday night youth clubs, and it's great to see how these young people make progression in understanding who Jesus is and why he came. But we see Adventurers as a real time to invest in them properly and to be able to teach them for a longer amount of time and to be able to consolidate what they do. Once we've left here, we head back to the community hall, and there'll be opportunities to spend times just in the teams, kind of 8 children per 2 leaders, an opportunity to be able to get together and get into the Bible teaching, to be able to go a bit further, to find out what questions the children have, and to really impress upon them the goodness and the love of the Lord Jesus Christ. We're back in here again at the end of the day. We'll come in about 2:45, 3 o'clock, and this section here, just by me round here, will turn into the Parents' Cafe. And we have a great opportunity for the parents to come and to spend some time with other people within the church, building relationships, and hopefully our people having an opportunity to speak about the Lord Jesus. And then the kids will come in, they'll sit down again in their teams, and we'll have the kind of big finale of the day where we'll go over some of the teaching. There might be some quizzes, some more games, and an opportunity again to reinforce the main teaching of the day. Every year we have a memory verse that the children are really encouraged to learn. So if your memories are good, that'd be great. You can help them when they learn that. And they love coming up and performing and sharing that memory verse with us. So that's just a little taste of what will happen in here with the juniors. Seniors, don't worry, your opportunity is coming soon. But this is what we do, how we use this hall to teach the children and ultimately for the glory of the Lord.
Hi, my name's Tara Webster and I will be leading the senior group. So some of you will be with us and they are kids aged between 11 to 14. And this is our space. It looks a little bit empty at the moment, but it will be transformed to a Back to the Future. So if you've not watched the film, make sure you do some research because this is what our whole theme is based on. We're going to be going back in time, looking at creation, looking at the fall, looking at why we need Jesus, and looking at our new creation, going to the future to be with God. Some of the kids that are coming along have heard this so many times. They've been with us for about 6 years now, so they've heard the gospel time and time again. So just pray that they come again with new ears ready to listen. We'll also have other leaders here. Our co-leader, Ruth, she's also be leading with me. And again, we'll be just doing lots of fun games. Again, bring some changes of clothes because we like to use gunge and we like to use lots and lots of messy games, a lot of water play. We're also having lots of trips, so we'll be going swimming, trampolining. We are going laser quest, where you shoot each other in the dark with lasers. We are having a photo challenge and also we shall be going bowling. So if you're up for any of those trips as well, that would be great to get involved and just to really get to know the children. The structure of the day, it can change depending on the trip, but usually we have a crazy drama that will happen up the front, and this year it's based on Back to the Future. So we've got a crazy scientist and his co-worker. And again, it's a little bit of slap cheek, it's just to get the kids up and ready, but do bring your dance moves this year. We're going to be travelling back in time and looking at lots of crazy dance moves to get the kids ready for the day. We'll then go through all the different things that we've done maybe the day before, so going through photos, memory verses and the different challenges that we would have set the kids during the day as well. We'll then go into the actual day where one of the leaders will take us through the different topics that we'll be looking at in the week. We'll have time for Bible study, and that's a really great opportunity to get to know the kids, get to know where they stand with Jesus, get to know what they really think about the Bible. There are going to be some really good questions set by the leaders to go through each of the passages. As well as that, like I said, there will be lots of games involved, lots of different activities, again, just to reinforce the point that we're going to be making that day. We'll then go off for the trip, have a little bit of lunch and come back and do a memory verse and sing some songs. And most of the day will be very hectic, but there'll be lots of times where we'll be able just to sit and chat to the children.
Great, thanks Tara. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes just to tell you a little bit about what it'll be like outside of Adventurers. Obviously it's a pretty hectic day. You'll be here from about 8:30 in the morning and then we'll leave at about 4:30 in the afternoon. But obviously there's plenty more hours in the day and hopefully you'll get over your jet lag and be able to enjoy all the rest that is put on for you while you're here. As we've said so many times that it will sound like a broken record, we are so grateful that you're coming. And we know that you're coming to serve and to be part of a mission team, but we also want you to have a good experience too, to see some of our country and to enjoy being here as well. Once you get here, you'll be set up with host families from people within the church. Lots of people love having an American over, so you'll stay with them in their house. For some people, they've got children who are part of Adventurers and they're really excited that you're going to come and stay with them. So each day they will bring you in, they'll make you a nice lunch and you'll be able to spend some time just getting to know an English family. The other thing that happens is that Craig and Becky, who are members in our church, Becky acts as our US ambassador, they put together a programme for you guys for things that you can do in the evening. So you'll be able to get a taste of Bristol life, life in Bath, and parts of England, and you'll be able to see those things that you guys love about England, these little kind of villages, but also experience some of the history. That's right, we have things here in Bristol that are older than your country, but lots of opportunities to be able to see parts of the country and to go to different areas at different times. Just before we go into our final thing, here's a little challenge for you. If during the week while you're here, if you can find the spot that I'm standing on now, because it's a bit of a maze and a bit of a rabbit warren, our building, then I'll give you a small prize. Now, one of the traditions of this video is time travel. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, this will make perfect sense, but for those of you who don't, we like to take some bits from previous videos that we've made and just put them in so that we don't have to double up on the things that we make. One of the things that we need to talk about is child protection, just making sure that the children are safe year on year and making sure that they have a fantastic time and that we're able to honour them, honour the Lord, and honour their families as we look after them each week. So we're going to head back in time, I think back to 2013. You can tell whether I've changed at all. I've certainly changed my shirt, although I still have the one that I'm wearing in that one. And we're just going to go back in time and we'll just go through some of the basics of child protection. If you've got any questions, any concerns, then you'll have my email address, so please do get in contact if you want to. So back to Simon from 4 years ago, and we'll see you again in a few moments. So I'm just going to spend the next couple of minutes doing what we used to do on the Sunday afternoon when all the Americans had arrived, but seeing as most of them slept through it because they just had their long flight, we thought we'd do it now and send you a video. Now obviously the safety of the children is really, really important to us. We want them to have a fantastic week, but we also want them to be safe. And if at any point during the week that you have any concerns about anything, please, please, please don't hesitate to talk to one of us. You can talk to Neil, you can talk to me. You'll also meet Alex when she gets here, and she's another person within the church who works in the area of child protection. So what I'm about to tell you is not to scare you, it's not to worry you about what to expect, it's just to prepare you so that you can be protected and so that we can all be informed as to how best we can protect our children. It may be that when we begin the week that there are certain things that you just feel a little bit uncomfortable with. It may be that a child consistently turns up without any lunch, that they consistently turn up with dirty clothes, that they just look as if they've been neglected or feel a little bit unloved. It may be that they've got bruises in slightly unusual places. They're not really giving clear instructions or reasons as to why the bruises are there. Maybe that they don't respond properly to praise or just being steered away when they're doing something wrong. It may be that they are not able to communicate properly and you realise there's maybe some emotional difficulties that are going on. And it may be that they behave or they speak or they act in a way which is slightly inappropriate in relation to sex. And you think again that the age that they are, it's not appropriate that they're talking or behaving in that particular way. Now it may be, for all of those things, it may be coincidence, it may be absolutely nothing. But we want to make sure that we're protecting them and us in case things do come to light a little bit later on. And so, without wishing to spoil the week, without wanting you to be completely on your toes all the time and on tenterhooks, we want just to be sure that we're all aware that these things might happen. It's a very, in a good way, pressurised environment in Adventurers. Lots of things going on and relationships build really quickly. And it may be that a child chooses to share something with you, to speak to you about something that's going on outside of their lives. And because you are a little bit distant, because you're from another country, because you're a little bit different, again in a good way, it may be that they choose to come to you to tell you those things. And again, without wishing to worry you, but just to prepare you, we've just come up with these 5 golden rules just to make sure that you're fine and prepared with what's going on. So the first one, don't be alone with a child. Now to be honest, when you get here, when you see our site and when you see the number of children that we'd have, it's pretty much impossible to be alone anywhere because there'd be so many people around and so much going on. But just to be aware for this, maybe when you're on a trip and a child wants to go to the toilet, just at any time, make sure that you're not alone. It may be if a child does want to talk to you, that you can be within a room with other people doing things in a different part of the room, but just be safe and just be aware of what's going on. Again, it may be that a child comes to you and says, can you keep a secret? It's really important that we don't promise confidentiality. Even if it looks like not promising that will cause the child not to say anything, we need to make sure that we're strong on that. Just share that you will have to tell someone. Try and make it someone that the child knows. Hopefully by the time they do, it would be myself or Neil, or even just your group leader, someone that they know who you say, actually I'm going to have to share it with that, but do encourage them to tell you what it is. Of course, if it turns out to be that they've got a surprise party for their dad at the weekend, then of course that's okay. But these things we have to make sure that we're not promising that we won't ever pass these things on. It's also not our role to do the investigation. We're not in any way professionals. The training that we've received, the training that we're passing on to you, is very, very minimal. What we need to do, if we do have concerns, is immediately pass it on. And when things come back to me, when they come back to Neil, we immediately get on the phone to the experts and they then take it from there. The more that we investigate, the more questions that we ask, the more liable that we are to be accused of changing things, adding things, and just putting things inside the child's head, which can hinder things when it comes to investigations later on. This is another one that can be a little bit tricky just on the surface, but don't initiate physical contact. It may be again that in this situation where we're having such a fun time, that children love to come up and say, oh, can you give me a piggyback? I'm tired. Can you carry me? Can I sit on your knee? At every stage we have to say, no, we don't want to be unfair, we don't want to be distant in that way, but we just need to protect ourselves and each other. So again, obviously if a child falls over, feel free to lift them up, but it's those uninitiated moments from our point of view. Just make sure that everything that we're doing, that we're being wise, that we're making sure that everything that we're doing is well above board and could be construed as nothing else. And the final thing, and particularly when it comes towards the end of the week, please don't give your contact details to a child. In the past, we've had Americans and some of our children build up fantastic relationships, and what we normally do is speak to the parents, ask them to give us their email address, and then all the contact goes through the child. But please, please, please don't give out Facebook details, email addresses, private phone numbers. Please come to us and tell us that one of the children would like to stay in contact, and then we'll be able to set that up so that you can keep on your input from across the waves. We do value what goes on outside this year. Some of your guys have been fantastic at the past in keeping up with our children and young people and encouraging them throughout the year, reminding them of all the things that they've learned. But we need to make sure we do that in a wise and a way which brings glory to the Lord and keeps the safety of the children paramount. Okay, and back into 2017. Well, you've heard from all three of us, and hopefully you've got a bit of a flavour of what is going to happen during Adventures. If you've got any questions, please do get in touch. Speak to some of the guys who've been before. As I say, Christy's been about 1,000 times, so she'll know the answer to absolutely everything. So from me, from Tara, from Neil, it's goodbye, safe travelling, and we'll see you very, very soon. Thanks for coming. Bye now.
Bye!